Hey, what's happening? I'm late today, huh? Sorry. I'm late every day. That's just facts. For anyone who knows me, you know that this has been my life. My life being late. I used to see a license plate when I was commuting. I still commute, but I used to commute during the commute, which was a nightmare. And I used to see this license plate periodically that would be like late for. And I was like, if she gives that up, I should totally take that. But, here we are. What was I going to talk about today? I totally forgot. Somebody had a question on Facebook, but I don't want to explain it because it's long and involved. Unless he's here to ask it. So I don't know. What do you want to know, folks? Ask the question. I will answer it. Where is Facebook so I can see what I was talking about? Oh, and again, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. I have been very much off the internets, except for here, pretty much, and trying not to. Oh, this is weird. Oh, this is that crazy person. Oh, that's why. Okay, sorry. I was like, what the fuck? And then I remembered that guy was crazy. Sorry. At any point, that wasn't the Facebook message I was going to try and answer. It wasn't a message, it was a comment, because let's face it, who does messages anymore? Not this kid. Ain't got time for that. But what I did do is I posted like a thank you for the birthday wishes, because I have been largely off the internet and I'm trying really hard to get back on. It's so weird, right? When you eliminate spending time on social media for a period of time, you have to actually work spending time on social media back into your schedule of the day. I mean, there's other stuff I haven't even done today that I really needed to do. Hey, Rodney. Like I need to try this download thing for music, because I really want to update the music on the Metal Zone. And like this weekend, I wanted to play Corplicani, and I thought we had a Corplicani song still in the system from the Metal Zone before, but we did not. Is this a show for you, Rodney? Is this like watching TV for you? That's funny. I look at this as like me just hanging out with you guys. Hi Ray. Because like, let's be honest, like I was just saying, I don't have as much time to spend on social media as I used to. Hey Mike. And the way that Facebook especially works, it filters everyone so much that I can't see what's going on with you guys. And then when I do try to look through news feeds now, I'm sure you've noticed this, right? Like your news feed will have one person and then like a bunch of random shit from people you don't know. And they're trying to get you to like hook in on their content there the same way people hook in on TikTok, where it's just a constant scroll of like shit you don't know and have nothing to do with. And you just keep scrolling until you find something that's interesting, and then you watch it. And then the algorithm tries to feed you things that you will just sit there and watch all the time. And I'm like, thank you, Ray. I did not enjoy my birthday at all. I don't know if you know, but there was an election right before my birthday that sucked ass without jelly or syrup. So that kind of ruined my birthday, but that's okay. I mean, to be honest, I honestly don't try to celebrate my birthday. Unless it's unless it's a round number, I was all about 50. I was like, here you are, bitches. I turned 50. Yeah. What? And I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum, or induction, excuse me. Actually, I went to the museum that year too. So when I was 49, I went to the museum. And then when I was 50, I went to the induction and ceremony and had a blast. But since then, I really have not been into celebrating my birthday. I feel like once you hit the big 50, you could take a break. And I probably would have enjoyed my birthday if I wasn't like on pins and needles about the shitty election that went the shitty direction. But I was, and I wasn't feeling it. And honestly, I'm still not feeling it. But I am trying. And the thing that was like that little bright spark of hope was people wanting to wish me a happy birthday and putting that on the internet. That actually made a huge, huge difference. And I think that was kind of like a bright spot to anchor to during a very dark few days of realization of what's coming. And it's been kind of funny because as these announcements keep coming through in the news of like his cabinet announcements and shit, and people are just like, oh my God. I'm like, I went through this last week. I'm sorry. Did you really think that this isn't what was going to happen? Because this was what was going to happen. We all know now. I mean, we knew before. We should have known before, but here we are. Hi, Chew. Hey, David. I'm your favorite radio host? Have you met a man named Steven Seaweed? I'm just going to say. He's my favorite radio host. Although I guess he is retired technically. So if I can even step a little tiny toe into those very big shoes, I would be happy to do it. And hi, John. How are you? Thank you so much. How you feeling, John? Are you doing good? I feel like I've been to a couple of shows where I didn't see you and I expected to see you. Chew, I said hi, right? Hey, Chew. Brett, what's happening? Oh, thank you. And again, my birthday was last week. I just posted today to thank a lot of people because again, last week when the election happened and it turned very, very dark, very, very fast, I felt like it would be smart for me to just, because honestly, my urge was to just call everyone a cunt. And I was pretty sure that I was going to get all my Facebook and Instagram, and like Meta was going to probably restrict my accounts. I have one restriction on one account so far, and I realized you can't just call everyone a cunt. You just can't. I mean, I would be happy to explain more to them if they were people who were ready to hear things, but they never are. Hi, Lance. Dude, Pittsburgh been checking in lately all the time. It's raining in San Francisco. I don't know if you know. Our luck ran out on the awesome weather this week. John, you're existing? You don't feel complete if you don't see me this show. Oh. You know what? I hope so. Did you see King Diamond canceled a couple of shows? But I have a feeling it was like a visa thing, because they were both Canadian shows and it was like due to circumstances beyond our control, cancellation. I was really worried it was going to be a health thing cancellation and that the tour was at risk, but I noticed it was definitely both just Canadian shows. So I'm thinking it's probably a visa issue. Bummer that they had to cancel those shows though. Canadian King Diamond fans must be pissed. Sorry, I'm getting text notifications right now, and they're kind of funny to me. Hold on. No, okay. I need to turn that off. I turned my phone off for a while too. I mean, I legit just went straight do not disturb on my phone. And people who text me on the regular were like, are you okay? Just let me know you're okay. And I'm like, I'm okay. I am alive. It's fine. It's fine. I just needed to be in a space where I could rage safely because, well, again, the aforementioned election last week that is basically gonna really, really fuck things up. Oh my God. Oh, it's kind of crazy. But I would rather talk about more interesting things because honestly, we are still in the Biden-Harris administration, and the incoming president-elect is going to continue to make a jackass out of himself for the next 4 years like he did the last 4 years. And we kind of know what's coming. and it's going to be so much more stupid, right? Because remember the first, oh, I'm still talking about it, aren't I? See, remember the first time around when like real politicians and real lawmakers and real professionals wanted to be part of his cabinet? Yeah, those are gone. He went through all the professional people that would work with him the first term. And now it's just the dregs. Thanks, Orson. Yeah, I am raging on, and I'm trying to be less rage filled because I feel like it's not good for the wrinkles. It's been a minute since I got some Botox, and my rage is endless and boundless. I mean, I'm not a metalhead by accident. I was in pits in the 80s, and I was in pits last month. So just know that, like, because I've been getting a lot of like, oh, the women, they're so sad and depressed because of the blood. No, no, sir. We are so filled with rage that it's a quiet rage of, well, things that if they were uttered out loud would probably violate terms of service agreements. So that's where that's going. Hey, Rodney. Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you, Lance. I appreciate it. Yeah, John, I think that's exactly it. I think it's a visa thing. Well, I know Canada has a long and storied reputation of forcing people with DUIs to purchase very expensive Queen's pardons and stuff like that. I would be surprised if everyone in King Diamond that was essential hadn't already been vetted for Canada, but you never know. That could be what happened. I mean, usually for anyone who doesn't know, Canada, they do not like to let you in the country at all if you have anything resembling a criminal record. They don't play. It's going to be interesting to see if Trump can go to a summit in Canada. Anyway, so King Diamond canceled a couple of shows in Canada recently, and and they didn't say why. They just said unforeseen circumstances or something. But typically when a band has a crucial, like a band member that can't get into Canada, they purchase what's called a Queen's pardon, which is very expensive, and it takes a lawyer usually to secure. And those people will the Queen's pardon is usually for a band member because it's an essential person. Anyone else gets left at the border where they babysit the tour merch, because Canada notoriously also will make you pay tax on all the merch you bring in, even if you don't sell it. So imagine you're a band on tour and everything you own is packed in your truck, including all the merchandise for the whole tour. And you may be going to Canada for like, I don't know, 2-3 shows, but then going back to the US for another 30 shows, or, well, people probably won't do 30 in a row, but you get my point, right? You got 3 shows in Canada, you got 15 shows in the US. There's 15 shows worth of merchandise you're going to have to pay Canadian tax on, even if you don't sell it in Canada. So what they do is at the border, there's a whole bunch of motels and hotels where the merch guy will stay behind, or if there's somebody on the tour that can't get the Queen's pardon but has a criminal record. And a criminal record, I mean, it could be anything for the most part. I mean, like I said, a DUI will keep you out of Canada, definitely. Speeding tickets might even keep you out of Canada. I've heard crazy stories about people being kept out of Canada for all kinds of like ridiculous things that seem like, like a marijuana possession bust, stuff like that. But so whoever can't get into the country is the one who stays behind at the hotel or the motel, at a cheap motel, and babysits the merch, so that they only take into Canada what they think they can sell in Canada, because they have to prepay the tax on it. But yeah, because King Diamond canceled a couple of shows, the theory is that it must have been a band member, because anyone else would have stayed behind. Yeah. What else is going on? What's new with you guys? Can I regale you with stories? Yesterday, I kind of got grilled, which wasn't bad. It was actually fun to have stuff to talk about and answer. It was a lot of tough questions, actually. Dude was taking that job seriously. Maybe he's like starting a podcast. Yeah. You know? Did I miss anything? I hope we didn't just like lock up. Uh-oh. Ah! Okay, I did see something just move. We're good. That was weird. So yeah. What else is new? No word on AC/DC. But I do think that if AC/DC was going to announce, it would be on a Monday. So that might be next week. That might be like a big next week thing. But I haven't heard any grumbling. Here's another thing that usually happens. So when a big show like that happens, PJ, you think I need more kitties? No, I don't. Don't get me wrong. I love the cats I have, but 2 is plenty. Cats are a responsibility, and I don't want more responsibility. Also, they take up a lot of space, and they track litter everywhere. I had to buy a second Roomba just to keep their litter like down, and I don't even have a big place. It's like a 3-bedroom house. So, and the cats aren't even allowed in all the rooms. But no, I do not need 4 more kitties. 2 is plenty. So AC/DC, right? So usually what'll happen is when AC/DC or a band that big has a show announcement coming, they will get in touch with us as a radio station to do like the announcement and the giveaways. Unfortunately, I am not on that list of people that gets to talk about that stuff. So the good news is I can tell you how it works and how it would happen if it was going to happen, but I can't tell you if it's going to happen because if I knew, I wouldn't be allowed to say anything. And if there are people here who know, they're not allowed to tell me. But if they did tell me, then they would have to tell me not to tell you, and then I couldn't tell you. So I don't know at all if there's been like a Monday announce in the works. So I'm just speculating that if AC/DC is going to go on sale next week, it will be a Monday announcement. I think that with Black Friday being so late in the year this year, retailers are kind of freaking out. I think they all want to get their Black Friday sales started early because Black Friday is on the 29th and nobody wants to wait until the end of the month to have a big sale or to drive sales. It's going to be interesting to see how things work out because as a band, you want to make sure that people know that your show is on sale and have time to buy those tickets. And somebody like AC/DC is going to be a very expensive ticket and they're going to be selling it way in advance. But this tour started like in the spring, which is still like 6 months out. But like Metallica is trying to sell a football stadium. That shit went on sale last month. I mean, that was kind of smart of Metallica, in my opinion. No, John, I don't want any cat rescues, none of that. Oh, God, Mike, why do people keep saying crazy cat lady? Like, I feel like that's like a bad stereotype, There's a lot of crazy cat dudes out there too. Did you know that? Have you seen these cat dudes? They are out there. Thanks, Carlos. I mean, maybe I do want to. No, I don't want to be the crazy cat lady. I got to be honest. I was happy being known as the pug lady, but what happened is my dog died, and then I was dead inside right? And since then, I've wanted to get another dog, but I've never really been in a position like I was when I got Susie. When I got Susie, I was at 1077 The Bone in afternoons, and I had a roommate that would take care of her in the very early morning hours so I could sleep. And then I got up at 9 and took care of her. And she was crated for the first year when she was a little puppy. And then by the time she was a year old, I was bringing her into the station every day. So I don't have really that ability anymore. I don't have a roommate, and I'm pretty sure they would frown on me bringing a dog in around here. Although, I can always ask. See, thank you, Tony. Proud cat dude. Carlos, you're right. I can take him on a trial run. Cat's rolled up on you at 1:30, waiting by an empty bowl. Well, it sounds like you have 4 new cats, PJ. My cats are on an automatic feeder. They have an auto feeder. They have an automatic litter box. They have an automatic water fountain. So as long as the power doesn't go out in my house, I'm good. My cats are solid. And that's because, oh, thanks, Rodney. That's basically because all of my friends with cats have made it very clear how much their cats own their asses. I've heard way too many stories about cats like waking people up in the middle of the night or at some horrible hour of the morning because they're demanding their wet food or whatever. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't happen. Not in mommy's house. No. I don't let them whine or cry about anything. If they whine or cry about something, they don't get it. Oh, did you want to get picked up? Because crying is not how to make that happen. Then I wait till they're quiet and then they get picked up. So for the most part, they don't meow until someone comes over and doesn't know the rule and then picks them up when they cry. And then they'll cry for like days after that, trying to get picked up. And I have to like recondition them to stop crying to get picked up. And it's like, it's like having somebody come over and give your kids candy and espresso. Whoops. I just kicked my cord and pulled it out. That's okay. I got time. How much time do I have? Oh, I got plenty of time. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I did adopt my cats, and I do encourage cat adoption, and I encourage everyone to spay and neuter their pets. If you're looking for a cat, the rescues are everywhere. Cats are still just dropping litters of kittens all over the place. For the love of all that is good and holy, don't buy a fucking cat. Donate to a rescue that will have that cat spayed or neutered before you get it. Hey, Philip, what's happening, man? So at any rate, I would definitely, if you're up on this AC/DC thing, I would be listening to radio 1077 The Bone Monday morning, because if the announce is going to happen, it's going to happen Monday morning. And if it's not going to happen on Monday, but it's going to happen on like Tuesday or Wednesday, that would be weird, but it's not impossible. Sometimes they do that. Then we'll probably have one of those like tune in tomorrow for a major announcement things, which I also have not heard. But then to be fair, I wouldn't even get the major announcement message until Thursday. Although I think that after, sorry, I feel like my hair's sticking out there. I think that after the news accidentally broke on the internet that AC/DC might be touring, that it would be silly to say major announcement because everybody knows what it is. And then they won't listen for the major announcement, right? Hey, Jacob. What are the top concerts and festivals to anticipate in 2025? Sick New World is already announced. I mean, I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine who works with Metallica, and he was like, yeah, come out to Sick New World. It's only in Vegas. It'll be great. And then I talked to another friend of mine with Metallica who was like, don't come to Sick New World. It's not our show. It's a festival. Like, how are we going to, like, come on, man. Don't ask that favor. So I don't know. PJ, Jacob, if you know, Philip Macias here, Macias. Is it Macias? Like, gracias. PJ's been to Sick New World a bunch. So if you're looking for a festival buddy, PJ is your guy. Right now, My Chemical Romance just announced a huge tour with a bunch of really good opening acts. Like, it's a different opening act at every location. And for MCR fans, it's going to be a huge tour. They just announced that one. AC/DC, we're anticipating now to be next year. Metallica next year is going to be awesome. I think that there's going to be a lot of tours next year, from what I've been told. A lot of them are going to be in the pop arena, which I'm assuming you're not super interested in. Does Brian Hobson need kitties? Well, what happened, Brian, is that something leaked on the internet. Something allegedly leaked on the internet. I have not seen a screenshot of it yet, but it was some kind of a show. It was some kind of a show announcement in Minneapolis on April 11th for AC/DC, and the tickets were supposed to be going on sale this Friday. Now, that would be weird because typically, what I was just explaining before you got here is that when a major concert gets announced, it's usually announced on a Monday or Tuesday because that's when the most people are listening, and they want those people to be aware of the show going on sale Friday. So the Friday on sale date isn't crazy, but the lack of announcement before that is. So, hi, Alan. So whatever it is that they've decided to do, they have probably pivoted the announce to like Monday or Tuesday. I say or Tuesday because Tuesday is the new Monday when it comes to the work from home people, right? Monday is a big work from home day now, so people aren't in their cars listening to radio stations on Mondays. It's your birthday on Friday. What else, Scorpio? How you doing? Happy birthday early. Yeah, there you go. PJ's got the scoop on Sick New World. Now for me, Trivium is going to be here at the Masonic on April 3rd. So I'd rather see that, you know. They're playing with Bullet for My Valentine, I think. And then Machine Head is going to be at the Fox Theater on April 5th, which I would definitely rather see than having to fly someplace. Exodus is going to be at the UC Theater with Havoc on December 6th. And Testament just played at the Warfield and it was killer. So far, PJ, none of these acts is worth me flying to Vegas for, especially since Metallica is going to be here in June. Oh, thanks, Brian. Yeah. So whatever it was is when the information leaked, it was already a mistake, right? It was probably something that somebody had prepped and then it got pulled back. And when somebody released like a batch of information to the internet, they forgot to pull that one out. Now, the real question is whether or not AC/DC decides to pull that whole tour. That would be weird, but I have seen that happen before, where we got told there was going to be a major tour announced for this major band, and we were expecting it to happen in like a week or two. And then all of a sudden they were like, never mind. And the band like pivoted everything. So it's not impossible that they wouldn't do the tour next year, but it would be weird because they've already done Europe. It's AC/DC, so they're going to end in Australia. And if they're ending in Australia, they're going to do that whole Pacific Rim. So it's not like they're going to be doing Japan. You know, Japan, anything Pacific Rim is going to happen when they're on that last leg of the tour in Australia. That's, you know, so then at that point, they may be deciding whether or not to do South or Central America. God, wouldn't it be nuts if they changed their mind because of the election? Wouldn't it be nuts if they were like, maybe we'll book this later. Maybe we'll see how things shake out for a minute. I mean, they're Australian, right? So they're probably pretty progressive. They've already got healthcare and everything over there. I know it's Vegas, PJ, and I do love Vegas, except nobody loves Vegas when they're forced to stand outside in the blazing heat all day and then choose between bands because it's a one-day festival. So you have to be there outside all day from like noon to midnight. Nope. At that point, I'm not even enjoying it, right? At that point, I'm deciding what bands I have to see before I need to go like hydrate or eat or get shade or like it's just not fun for me. Yeah, Exodus in December at the UC is going to be awesome, Jacob. It will be. I don't know. PJ would rather just go see all those bands in Vegas. In his defense, he has to work a lot. So I guess it makes sense for him to take 1 or 2 days off to go see 15 or 20 bands than it would to spend most evenings seeing one band at a time because he's got to get up at 2:00 in the morning to drive a truck. You're going to Machine Head no matter what because you got the hots for Christina Scabbia from Lacuna Coil. Yeah, dude, Machine Head at the Fox is going to be insane. What do they charge for the Telegraph Room these days? Wait, is the Telegraph Room the one that's like in the foyer, or is it the one that's upstairs, or is it the one that's way downstairs? You know, there's like 3 VIP areas at the Fox Theater. It's kind of funny. Dave Grohl's Love Child World announcement was your mind blower for 2024. Yeah, well, that blew a lot of minds. Well, Tonelli has been predicting all the deaths this year. I think he's killing it, pardon the pun, in the Deadpool. Dave Grohl's Love Child is somewhat of a surprise because you figure, dude, you've already got 3 kids by your wife. Why didn't you get a vasectomy? Like, why aren't you shooting blanks by now, buddy? Like, how'd you even manage to knock someone up? Like, honestly. I was also really surprised that the Foo Fighters canceled shows after that. But apparently Dave's having a hard time with it. And they decided to not tarnish the brand any further, I guess. Not tarnish the brand any further by canceling some shows and then regrouping. John, your buddy Darcy bartends at the UC Theater. Cool. I used to do Rocky Horror Picture Show at the UC Theater in the 80s. And I was at the UC for High on Fire. And afterwards, I went to Shift Off. And if you don't work in the industry, Shift Off is what happens at the end of the night. Once they've kicked you all out of the club, then everybody that works there grabs a drink and sits around and talks shit about the show all night. So I went to Shift Off and was talking to the guys who worked there. And the house manager was like, you should totally come to Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I was like, I love that about you. And I kind of want to, but also I have done a lot of Rocky Horror Picture Shows here at the UC Theater. To me, sometimes it's just one more. And there was some guy who was like, oh no, you don't know what it's like. We do this and we do that and da-da-da. And I was like, sweetheart, I was doing Rocky Horror Picture Show in this theater before you were born. And he's like, no, you weren't. And I was like, what year were you born? And he's all 1986. And I was like, yes. Or no, I think he said 1988. Whatever it was. I was there first. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I've done a lot of them. But I do love the UC Theater. PJ savagely sweats everywhere, so it keeps him cool. Ew. He needs a still suit like from Dune. Right, Orson? Dude. Rodney, if I don't mind what? PJ, you got a strategy for Sick New World? I do too. It's to not go. Whoops, I don't want that mouse. I want this mouse. Hang on a second. Speaking of AC/DC, 1077 The Bone and AC/DC with Thunderstruck. I'm Nikki Blakk, and AC/DC really freaked out everyone with this accidental show information getting released that was supposedly about a Minneapolis AC/DC concert that was going to go on sale Friday and was going to be April 11th. But since that happened, we have not heard a peep. Now, that doesn't mean that we aren't going to still get an announcement. But if we get it, I'm thinking it'll be next week or next month, but probably before Christmas, unless they've decided to scuttle the whole tour, in which case, wah, wah. Okay. $50 for the Telegraph Room. Yeah. That's that front entrance one. I've been in there. No, that's not the downstairs one. The downstairs one is like a bunker. You have to like go into a secret staircase, and you go down that staircase and then take a right, and there's like a broom closet on one side, and then there's like this little door on the other side that's like the den. And then there's the upstairs, which is like if you go into that main bar that's in the front windows, then upstairs from that main bar is like a second floor that's like a VIP bar or whatever. Hey, Umberto. Machine Head is playing April 5th. Oh, is that your birthday? Congratulations, dude. That's going to be sick. That show is going to be insane. It's oh God, I'm suddenly blanking on the opener, right? It's Machine Head, Lacuna Coil, Unearth. There's a fourth band, right? That I'm missing in my head. Brain fart. Rodney, my favorite outing, where to go? I guess would be like an awesome dinner. But I usually would rather have the awesome dinner at home. At this point now, I'm sad and old, and I'm like, can't we just cook? I would just like to cook, you know? But I don't know. I like to do all kinds of stuff. I would go surfing, I would go horseback riding, I would go I don't know. Ski. I would ski or snowboard. What do you mean by outing? Like, what's the occasion? Is it just like a random, like, let's do a thing? You know? Like there's this place called Dandelion Chocolate in San Francisco, and it's like a really good high-end chocolatier that makes amazing chocolate chips. They make these like giant ass like chocolate chips. But they're like $20 a pound. But I bought them one year just to try it, and they're fucking great. I made amazing chocolate chip cookies with them. Anyhow, Dandelion Chocolate is doing this whole series of events in San Francisco where they're having like guest chefs prepare like special meals and then also desserts. And they're having cooking classes and stuff. And I wanted to get in on one of those, but before I could nail down a date that I could make it, they sold out all the dinners. So nope. I don't know. Does that answer your question, or do you want to be more specific about something that would make more sense to you? Hi, John. You saw Social D at the UC? You're going to see them again in the city on the Wednesday night show? Oh, yeah. Their Social Distortion is back at the Fillmore. I have seen Social D at the Fillmore a bunch and a couple times at the Warfield. In Flames, thank you. I knew it was somebody I loved. Brain fart. But yeah, I knew there were 4 bands. Isn't that crazy how my brain info works? Like, obviously I knew that information yesterday. And then today, obviously it was still in my head somewhere because I couldn't have remembered Unearth if I wasn't going to be able to remember In Flames. But anyway, yeah. So that's how my brain omits information. If Kubla Khan was there, PJ, I wouldn't know. I couldn't pick those guys out of a lineup. I know that you love them, and that is all I know about them at this point. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I mean, Orson, you saw In Flames in Japan? Are you in Japan? Or did you happen to be in Japan when In Flames was playing there and you saw them? One time I went to this bar in Oakland and one of the guys from In Flames showed up. And then I went to see the Cult afterwards and he was there too. And I was like, bro, you following me? It was so funny. I might have pictures. Let's see. I think it was Bjorn. Yeah, it was Bjorn. Let's see. Where were we when that happened? Oakland. Oh, that's a lot of Oakland photos. Let's see how far back I can go. Oh, speaking of Rob Flynn, he was at that game too. Apparently Mike Dirnt was also at the game. What is that from? Oh, this is that benefit for Nikki Davis. Remember the Black Sabbath benefit for Nikki Davis? That's why you see Rob Flynn and Craig Cicero on stage together. Well, maybe I don't have pictures of it. But yeah, it was funny. It's that same day that a bunch of us all went to, must have been opening day at the Raider game. And it was like me and Scott Farrar and Chuck Billy and Tiffany Billy and Carrie King and Aisha King, and we all went to the game. And then after the game, we all went to this bar in Oakland. And then at the bar in Oakland, Jimmy Dunlop turns up with Bjorn from In Flames. And we all hung out and had drinks and chicky nuggets at this bar. And then no, that's not it either. And then, like I said, after that, I left the bar and went to go see the Cult at the Warfield, and dude was at the Warfield. Wonder if I put the Coliseum in, if it'll come up. Nope. You know, I think Apple's photo search system is probably garbage. But it was hilarious because he and Aisha were having like a plank cost contest to see who could plank longer, Bjorn or Aisha. That was hilarious. Nope, that's a different thing. Anyway, okay, I can't find the photos, but that's what happened. Hilarious. Oh, India Palace. Yeah, you know, I would love to, but have I told you this story 1,000 times, right? My best friend who I get Indian food with, it lives in Napa. So we either get Indian food in Napa or Fairfield or Concord, where I live, because to have her drive from Napa to Concord and then again from Concord out to Oakland, it's kind of a lot of driving just for Indian food. You know what I mean? But if she and I ever are in Oakland for some other reason and then also want Indian food, then we could do it. Oh, you're in the Bay. You just went to Japan for festivals? Sick, Orson. Japan is still on my bucket list, dude. I saved I saved a ridiculous amount of airline miles with Virgin America. And all I needed with them was like 45,000, I think. It was like 41,000 airline miles to get to Japan, to get to Tokyo round trip. And I saved up all the airline miles, and then Virgin got bought by Alaska. And a friend of mine was having regular business trips to Tokyo. And he was like, yeah, just come with me on a business trip. That way you can crash in my hotel room. I can expense meals, and then you just have to pay for like whatever you do outside of like whatever we hang out. And so that's why I saved all the airline miles, and I was getting ready to do it. And then his division relocated to fucking Foster City. And he's like, well, now I get to come to Foster City every year. And I'm like, I already live here. I wanted to go to Japan. I don't want to expense a hotel in Foster City. Damn it. Yeah, the Cults are awesome live. Go see them every chance you get. The butter chicken is off the charts. Nice. Well, Rodney, I will try to always remember that. I mean, you never know. And you never know when I might end up in Oakland and eating Indian food. It could happen. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I popped into a random restaurant in Oakland. Stranger things have happened in my life. I used to have weird things used to happen all the time, like obviously, like dude from In Flames turning up while I'm hanging out at a bar in Oakland with Chuck Billy and Carrie King. Let's see if I have any other fun photos in here that would be a good story. What happened a year ago? So remember when it was always freezing in the studio? So now I just turn the heat up and then I turn it back down before I leave. But the funny thing is, I kept all my jackets and stuff in a locker here at the station. And now I can't remember the locker combination. So I haven't seen my Death Angel hoodie for like months now. John, is it your birthday too? Aw, look at you flying under the radar, sneaky, sneaky. Hey, Dan, you missed so much. Oh my God. You're going to have to rewatch this whole video tomorrow or something. Lamb Vindaloo, Gobi Aloo are your favorites. I am not mad at either of those. As long as the lamb isn't too gamey, sometimes the lamb is just like overpowering. My favorite lamb is the Greek lamb. Oh my God, I love Greek lamb or lamb burgers. Hey, Carlton, how you doing, man? See, now everybody's going to want to talk about food and I'm getting hungry. I have like a lunch packed in the studio, in the fridge, but it's actually my lunch from yesterday because yesterday I had a big omelet before work and then I just never got hungry. Probably because I drank my coffee and today I didn't drink the coffee. So now I'm getting hungry because today I also had a big omelet. Do I have omelet pictures? Let's see. Recent. Oh, this is from that day. Here we are all at the game. These are pictures that came up in Facebook memories. I don't know if I mentioned that we were playing like office chair tag on a stage in the parking lot until we got in trouble for it. Finally, some security guard came in and was like, and we were like, "Aw!" And he was like, "Yeah, come on. You got away with it for a minute. Be happy." And we were like, "Okay, but could you take our picture first?" And he was like, "Okay." John. Well, happy whenever your birthday. A merry birthday to you, sir. A very merry birthday. Yeah, I like to talk food, but not when I'm hungry because then I start getting lightheaded. Oh, hang on. "1077 The Bone of the Black Crow." Let's try that again. "1077 The Bone and the Black Crows with Twice as Hard." I'm Nikki Blakk, and I have a podcast called The Black Room with former Black Crows drummer Steve Gorman. You know Steve Gorman, he rocks in just a few minutes here on 1077 The Bone. 7 o'clock every weeknight, Steve Gorman rocks. And whenever we have a chance to get together, we go into The Black Room, which is a full-on video podcast now. You can check it out on The Bone and on the Nikki Blakk YouTube page. And you can always get the podcast anywhere you get podcasts. Just title search The Black Room and then look for the one with the blue logo that has our pictures on it. Yeah, more people had the idea for that title, but ours is the coolest. Okay, where were we? We were trying not to make me hungry because then I'm gonna have to go and like get some food out the fridge. But I did pack it like 2 days ago, and I'm hoping to try and push it off to be able to eat it tomorrow or the next day. Actually, tomorrow, Chasta and I are having lunch. We have a lunch meeting tomorrow, so I will not be eating it tomorrow either. Maybe I can make it last until Friday, which is good because there's no food left in my fridge. I have been so busy and so out of town, and just usually I only have Saturday mornings to grocery shop. And I was in San Diego last weekend, and then this weekend is that marathon Saturday drive day that I thought I was doing 2 weeks ago. So Saturday morning, I do not have time to go grocery shopping because I got to go pick my mom up in Fairfield and take her to my nephew's play in Pacifica, and then hook up with the Soundwaves FM crew for their filming in San Carlos, and then get my mom back in Pacifica and take her back out to Fairfield, and then get back home to Concord. It's going to be a lot. And then there's the ball game on Sunday, the 49er game on Sunday. Although I haven't heard back from baby Huey whether or not he wants to carpool, which is going to be rough if he doesn't, because then I have to carpool with, don't get me wrong, people I absolutely adore, my tailgate crew, but they leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. And that is tough, especially after I'm driving 200 miles on Saturday. Is it 200 miles now? It's like 100 and something. And right now, PJ is laughing at me because he drives 100 miles in his sleep. You know what, Dan? I used to love roast beef, but did you notice the quality of the beef in roast beef these days is not that high? I used to order roast beef all the time, and I just quit ordering it because everywhere I went, it was just like, I was just always disappointed. It was always like too gristly and overcooked and like just not good. Yeah, well, I also have to slow down because even though I did the Abundant Life Wellness diet 6 months ago and lost 24 pounds, I have to maintain that weight. And last weekend in San Diego, I ate like a ridiculous amount of taqueria and a lot of margaritas and a lot more mimosas. And we went to like a brunch buffet where I ate like a whole Alaskan king crab along with like 6 desserts. So, yeah, I'm having to make up for that now because as an ambassador for the Abundant Wellness diet. I need to not get fat. Yeah, Rodney, we all love Shasta. She's fun to go to lunch with too. In fact, we used to go to lunch a bunch, and honestly, this year has just gotten away from us. I don't think we've been able to like hang out and go to lunch for like months, a long time. Hi, Red. Rodney, you have a grocery outlet across the street. You know, last few times I went to the grocery outlet, everything there was like crazy over processed. And that ultra processed food literally like takes years off your life. So I'm trying to be more healthy. I'm trying to like eat organic food, and I'm trying to go like farmers market when I can and Whole Foods when I can't. And Costco has a lot of really good organics too. So that's typically what I do. 470 miles, 479 miles today, PJ. Yeah, that's crazy pants, dude. I don't know how you do it. I feel like that's more than you should be allowed to go in a day. You have a terrible boss. What's the limit? Is the limit in miles or hours or one or the other? Oh yeah, Dan, pastrami is bomb. But again, needs to be quality. And pastrami is technically really bad for you because it is ultra processed, but I can't say no to pastrami. Olives are the best, dude. I buy my olives at Costco. That's how much I eat olives. And I'm currently out of olives right now because I ate them all. Oh, we don't have a Sprouts, Carlos. Not in Concord. Turkey pastrami. I don't know if I'm down with the turkey pastrami, Dan. I think that's all you, bro. I have these pears in the fridge that I want to do something with. I got some pears and some blueberries. I'm thinking about like poached pears. I got these pears like, I'm not kidding you, like 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, with the intent of doing poached pears. And then I just have not had time. And I still will not have time, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, never mind. I'll probably have to chop those pears up and eat them with some feta cheese or something. I say I'd put them on a salad, but I'm out of lettuce. I'm out of avocados. I'm out of lettuce. I'm down to only garden tomatoes. Oh, I could thaw some stuff. I've got a bunch of tofu. I need to make some tofu things. The problem is with the tofu is that I always forget that I need to drain it first. And then when I get home, I don't want to wait 20 minutes to like drain the tofu before I cook it. Does anybody have like an instant tofu recipe? That would be awesome. Did the Costco food court in Concord have cheeseburgers on their menu? I don't know. I would never eat at the Costco food court because that food is gross. It's like cafeteria food, man. I mean, it's cheap, but it's gross. Like, yeah. Hey, Marlon. Yeah, I don't know how we ended up talking about food. We started talking about ACDC, and now here we are on food. 600 miles is the limit. Ugh. I don't know how you do it, PJ. I have some feta cheese. I have some mozzarella cheese. I'm out of cheddar. I used the last of the cheddar last night on my tuna melt. What else do I have? Yeah, it's a very large and empty fridge. It's basically got like pickles and tofu and some pears and some blueberries and some feta cheese and some mozzarella cheese. I got some apples. I could do that apple manchego salad. I think I've got everything for that. But that's labor intensive. You have to chop a lot for that. Although apple salad does sound really good. If you haven't had this apple salad from the Firefly Cafe, it's called Firefly Tapas. I think it's a chain, but it's a small chain, and they have one in Vegas, and it's amazing. My friend Richard Nixon took me there once. Yes, his real name is Richard Nixon. In fact, I haven't seen that dude in years now that I think about it. This is what happens when people drop off Facebook. It's like they cease to exist if they're not local. Even if they are local, sometimes they cease to exist. But once they're off social media, you're like, oh shit, I haven't seen you in 5 years and I haven't seen you on socials either. So anyhow, Firefly Tapas, they have this apple manchego salad that is amazing. And that's where I learned it. I swiped the recipe from them. Yeah, it's Rodney's fault. Rodney made me start talking about food. Dan just is randomly naming foods. We're not sure why. Taco salads have a tendency to be I do like a taco salad. I don't know what a Millhouse is. Is that an apple? The Firefly Tapas recipe, the apple salad recipe is green apples. Green apples, manchego cheese, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and toasted almonds. That's actually really good. I should totally make that. I think I'll have time tomorrow. No, I can't tomorrow. We've got a meeting in the morning. I won't have time to do anything tomorrow. And then Friday, I got to come in early to record some stuff. So nope. Although it won't matter because Friday, I don't have time to do anything. Anywho's, yeah, I guess we're all going to be waiting on pins and needles to see if ACDC announces on Monday. And then if they don't announce on Monday, I mean, they could be reconfiguring the whole tour. It's hard to say. You have a lamb burger. I love a lamb burger. I make my own lamb burgers because it's really not that hard to make a burger. I kind of went through this phase where I decided I wasn't going to pay somebody to make food that I could make myself at home. Which reminds me, I've got like a cup of cream in the fridge that's on the verge. But I don't know what I can make with cream that won't go bad, except for the pasta salad sauce. See if I have everything for the pasta sauce. I should watch my video when I make the pasta and see if I have everything for the pasta sauce, right? That's the real reason I post these things. Oh, look, Trans-Siberian Orchestra has started. Aw. All right, no, I was looking at mine, wasn't I? There we go. Derp, derp, derp. Let's see. Oh, I do have all this stuff. I do still have that. I still have that. I still have garlic. Still have tomatoes on the vine. Still have some pasta. It's frozen. I gotta thaw it, but I could still do that. And that's the cream I gotta finish using up. Yeah, I might just have to make this recipe again. The problem is that it's not on the diet. The basil's drying up in the garden, but I think I could still squeeze enough basil out of it to make some pasta. Definitely still have more wine. Okay, yeah, I could make that if I got time. That's what I'll use the cream for. You have an apartment-sized fridge, Marlon, with salami, yogurt, butter, water, roast chicken, mustard, mayo, hot sauce, bread, and basically you have a charcuterie fridge, right? What's new and exciting this weekend? I don't know. What am I doing this weekend? I'm taking my mom to see my nephews play, and then I'm going to the Soundwaves TV taping, and then I'm taking my mom home from the play. That is going to take up my entire Saturday, and then I'm going to the 49er game on Sunday, which will take up my entire Sunday. Hey, Rodney, what's up? Yeah. Jacob, the return of Ozfest. I don't know. I mean, this whole like return of festivals thing is not really impressing me. They've already had the Vans Warp Tour get resurrected, and the Mayhem Tour got resurrected, and I don't see them resurrecting. Have you seen where they're resurrecting Ozfest? Have I forgotten that they were doing that? Because it sounds like I don't think it sounds like something that wouldn't make any sense because the Osbournes would be involved, right? Oh, she wants to do it again, huh? I'd be surprised if Ozfest returned in the way that it used to be. I'd be very, very surprised if this actually happened. I mean, the Osbournes have been talking about moving to England for 3 years, and they haven't done it yet. So for them to be talking about resurrecting Ozfest. I mean, in 2022, they had a virtual Ozfest. Yeah, I don't see that being a thing. I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised. Hi, Justine. Oh, thank you. I think I got this on like Poshmark or something. um Oh, thanks, John. Well, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Oh, hey, Justine, I wanted to tell you I got your email, and I think that you might be right in for some of it, but for the most part, I don't think it's really it's not so much it's more the stud part hitting me in the head with the pressure from the headphones than it is the spiky bits on the earrings. But either way, yeah, I got to figure something else out because popping these things in the morning is not fun. Shannon is pushing for Ozfest. Who the fuck is Shannon? Is that the older? No, Amy's the older daughter. Oh, Sharon. You're saying Sharon is pushing for an Ozfest? I don't see it. Where is that? Earlier this year, she said it could make a comeback. I mean, and she said she was open to reviving Ozfest as long as bands are realistic with their fees, which nobody was. I mean, I feel like that went down like a lead balloon, I don't think there's been a peep about an Ozfest ever since then. Oh, thanks, Rodney. Take care, man. You're gonna have to watch the replay, Justine. It's way too much. I'm about ready to tap out. It's already after 6. Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean, Jacob, but no. Sharon mentioned it briefly in passing, like in January, and I haven't heard anything about it since. And she mentioned it because she wanted agents to take less money, and I just don't see it. No, you know what? I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening. And if it does happen, I don't see it interesting me, much like that Mayhem Festival that's looking really boring. Oh, thanks, Rodney. You're caught up now? That was fast. Ozzy's no. Oh no! If Ozfest comes back, there will be no Ozzy. I don't think Ozzy's even up to. Here's what would happen if Ozfest came back. Ozzy would get trotted out for like a moment to say hi, I love you all, and then they would usher him back. Like he couldn't even do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performance. Okay, so there's no way Ozzy's going on tour. Yeah, right. That's what I was saying, Justine. They've been talking about moving back to England for years now that they keep putting off. So, and at one point they signed a TV show agreement They were supposed to do a new reality show when they moved home, and then they never moved home. So I'm taking anything Sharon says with a grain of salt these days. Thanks, Marlon. I know, right? I got to get. Good night, PJ. Well, Jacob, you're worried about being at the end and not at the cusp of classic rock coming to an end. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but Foreigner will always stay on tour, apparently. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's okay, Justine. I don't even worry about it, you know? Yeah, exactly. Parkinson's is brutal, and Ozzy looks like he's struggling right now. Yeah, well, Jacob, you know what? Buy the tickets now because it could be the last time you see any of these classic acts. I lived my life always trying to buy the ticket and always trying to see the show. So I have very few regrets. I do have some though. There are some that I missed that either broke up or died or got Parkinson's, like Neil Diamond, you know. Neil Diamond was always playing in San Jose, and I never wanted to drive all the way to San Jose to see him. And I kept hoping he would play in San Francisco again and I get to see him, but nope, then he got Parkinson's. Oh shoot. Okay, Justine. Or you know what? Send it to me in an email and then I'll remember it tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure I can sign on tomorrow because we've got this all staff meeting in the morning and then I have lunch with Shasta and then I'm going to have a bunch of stuff to do. And then after that, I have Gorman tomorrow. So depending on how long all of that goes, I may or may not have time to tap in. And then Fridays, forget about it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do Fridays at all. There's just too much recording and stuff that happens on a Friday. All right, guys, have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully.